Hello, good afternoon. Coach Scott here again. So far, the videos in the group and in various other places that I put them have all been about marketing, using mostly to do with Facebook. Today, I wanted to move on to a different subject, something which I believe is probably the most important aspect if you want to be successful in life, whether that's with an ordinary job or whatever it is, yeah, and whatever you consider to be making yourself a success. It could be being a singer or a dancer or an actor or something, but obviously we're talking more about people actually making a success online. Um, so maybe you can have a little guess. Can you guess what that is? Is it marketing? Is it having the perfect funnel? Is it having the right product, being with the right company, with the right compensation plan? Well, actually, no. The most important point is your mindset. Yeah, bet that hit you between the ears, didn't it? Yeah, or between the eyes rather. So why do I say mindset? Because even if you have everything else in place, um, at some point in the process of having any business really, whether it's online or offline, you're going to hit problems, challenges, if you like. Something happens either in your family or something happens within your business, something goes wrong. And unless you have the right mindset, then there's a likelihood that maybe you just aren't able to continue in some way. You fall foul of maybe you start doubting yourself, or you say, these things never work. Why am I doing this? All the thoughts that come into our head when challenges do arise, they become louder maybe than the reasons why you started it, or the reasons that you want to, your why, if you like, why you were doing this. Why did you want to do this? Because I want to have more freedom, more time with my family. I want to be able to not worry about paying the bills, etc., etc. So mindset is extremely important. Without that single thing being right, having everything else okay, it may not be enough. So when I talk about mindset, then what do I mean exactly? I think really it's about understanding how the universe works. Really, what is it? What is it all about? It's not just really about positive thinking. And I have quite a bit of experience in this area in a way, because when I was growing up, I was actually within a very religious background family. So I grew up in a specific religion. It was a very spiritualistic religion, and I was taught from obviously being a baby that God made us in His image and likeness, and therefore we're perfect, and uh, we are actually a spiritual being, if you like, having a human experience, and it's the human experience which is the illusion, and in fact we are actually perfect in spirit. So really, when you're thinking in that kind of way, your the whole way of your thought processes is, I would think, completely different from somebody brought up just in an ordinary family environment without that kind of background, because you basically relate everything that's going on in life. You come from the viewpoint that it is perfect. So when you don't see perfection, that is the illusion. And it just completely reverses everything that's going on, if you like. And I can obviously, I was 26 before I actually moved away from my religion, and I can really say that up until that point, life for me had been pretty much, I mean, obviously I had problems, but pretty much problem free as far as anything major. Obviously we all have problems, but you're able to deal with it because I was able to deal with it because of my religious beliefs, my positive thinking, and knowing that everything would work out. So so what happened at 26? Nothing really. I just got to a point in my life where I was actually in the Royal Air Force at the time, but I'd been in the Royal Air Force then by 7 years then, 6 or 7 years. So, but I was a physical training instructor, and I don't know, I think just at that point in my life, I just got to the point where I thought that, I'm doing something very physical, but I'm in a religion that's very spiritual, and I couldn't really sort of find a way to bring the two together. Anyway, I decided to sort of move away from my religion at that point in life, and I think probably the biggest problem then was that I never really replaced it. I dabbled with a few other types of religion, which just didn't sit right with me from because of my beliefs from before, if you like. And so I then went on a period of time where things maybe didn't go quite so well. I mean, I left the RAF at the age of 29, and I then moved into direct sales, and I got into a relationship, and in the end, basically, I ended up, without going into the full story, I ended up having a number of marriages which failed, and also I had successes in my sales, but I also had some downs as well. And during that time, I also did actually dabble with quite a few different network marketing companies. I liked the model, but I was never really able to. I sold products, and I got people into the organization and was building a team, but I never really got to a point where I was actually earning a profit. I think there was more money going out than coming in, and I'm sure those of you that have been involved in networking before have probably had similar experiences. So you might wonder why it took me so long then to get back to, if you like, thinking in the right way. Who knows? But I basically went through the next 30 odd, 20, 25, 30 odd years, not really having that mindset anymore. And so really things came to a head about a year ago. Just over a year ago, February last year actually. And I just, again, as suddenly as I made the decision to leave my religion, I suddenly sort of realized that I needed to change my thinking again. Yeah, because it just wasn't right. I knew that what I was going through and experiencing over the last 30 years wasn't how it should be. And the only way to change that was to change my thinking. So I then started getting into researching on law of attraction and things like that, and I came across The Secret, which you've probably all maybe seen or heard about. I'd heard about it, but I'd never actually bothered to find out about it anymore. I had never watched any videos or read the book. So at that point, I decided to watch The Secret on YouTube, and that then started me down that path of rediscovering my spirituality, really. And I sort of came across Bob Proctor, who's obviously very well known in the industry for his motivational speaking and books and things, and he was very much more, I mean, yes, he's still got he believes in God and the universe, etc., but his material is definitely more focused on the business side of things. Yeah, and perhaps I was looking for something more on the spiritual side at this stage, and then I came across Neale Donald Walsch and Conversations with God, and that really sort of resonated with me, because it was a large portion of what he was saying was basically taking me back to my original beliefs in the religion I was in before. The only difference was without any of the doctrine, or the other side of religion. So I'm not really, I wouldn't say I'm particularly a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. And I do think that if you're starting out on a journey to success, it's definitely an aspect you need to be looking into and finding out for yourself what is right for you. I'm not going to say this is right and this is right, because different people have different ideas, and that's why there's unfortunately so many religions. And without getting into too much trouble here, maybe with some people, the problem with religion is they all have their own take on what somebody said, and that leads to division and separation and all the rest of it. And really, what we should all be trying to do is come together as a unit over the whole planet. Yeah, there's no such thing as an American and an Englishman and a Chinese, and we're all human beings basically at the end of the day, and we need to try and come together as a people over the whole world. I mean, this brings you on to who is family. I mean, we all sort of have this idea that family is the most important thing, and you should look after your family first. But if we have the thought and the idea and the knowledge that basically we're all in the same family, then it doesn't matter whether you've just seen them in the street, or they're living with you in the same house. That we're all together in this world, and we should all be helping each other. Okay, that's going on to maybe a different track altogether. So what I advise you to do really is to look into the spiritual side of things, and choose your own path. You could start certainly with if you've never watched The Secret, you watch The Secret. It won't give you anything in depth, but it will give you an idea of what it's all about. And then, as I say, you can check out Neale Donald Walsch, and he's written quite a lot of books about his conversations with God. There's also what's her name now? It's Hayes Foundation. I know is the foundation. I've just for the moment forgotten the lady's name. Hicks, Abraham Hicks, and the Hayes Foundation. That's another very informed and spiritualistic path to look at, if you like. But there's lots of others. If you basically go into YouTube and do a search about maybe spiritual thinking or positive thinking, or laws of attraction, these kind of keywords, you'll get a whole list of different types of videos that you can have a look at, and get your mindset right. Because at the end of the day, as I say, if you haven't got the right mindset, it's going to be very difficult to achieve what you want to achieve. So I hope this is useful. Please let me know, leave any comments, and let's have a good discussion about it. Okay, bye-bye.